cards and banners, said they've lost about 10 of their colleagues due to the hardship experienced within the period. The teachers who came out with their children, as well as sympathizers from the civil society organizations in the state, said they were from primary and secondary schools in RivState University, the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, and Ken Saro-Wiwa Polytechnic Bori. They wondered why the governor, Nyesom Wike, would give 500 million naira to Sokoto state government over a burnt market while refusing to pay them for 5 years and counting. A protester spoke to our correspondent.
The governor refused to obey the decision of the court. That is the reason why our relatives are so embarking on this, for the governor to know the importance of obeying court order and pay the salaries of the teachers. For 5 years, they have not received salary. For 20 years, 30 years, they never employed anybody. You cannot afford to pay your bills. You can't pay accommodation. You can't pay student school fees. My colleague, almost 8 of them have died already. So it's unthinkable.
On his part, the chairman of Parents Teachers Association, Golden Spieth, said it is painful that teachers have to beg to be paid their salaries.
How they are treating our teachers, our mothers, our fathers like common beggars. Terrible. We are saddened, we are pained, and we are pleading again with the state governor and every concerned citizen to please ask the River State governor and the River State government to pay these teachers. It's not 5 months, it's not 5 weeks. God has given judgment. So what is keeping him? Let the governor obey God's order. It's very simple.
All right, well represented in that protest was the civil society coalition headed by Enefa Georgewill, and Mr. Georgewill joins me via phone this morning. Good morning, Mr. Georgewill.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning, River State.
Spoke to a couple of society, but I'd like to know, what position did you play in that protest and in this movement completely?
I think basically this protest was carried out by 3 categories of persons. One, the former students of this teacher, but pioneer students were there, and of course they were led by the president of Old Boy of this school.
Okay.
In that one segment, the second segment are members of the civil society organization, at the University organization that I am privileged to chair. And then thirdly, the Parents and Teachers Association, who that have been funding this child all this while by providing small palliative and small form of support to these teachers. So these are the 3 categories of persons that mobilize everybody to protest. So basically that's what it is. But if I should explain the issues surrounding this matter, if that's part of my question, I can go ahead.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. In 2018, teachers numbering over 200 and something came to us, the secretariat of the River Civil Society Organization, complaining that in 2016, the River State Governor stopped their salary for no legal reason, no genuine reason, in a military style, in one of the most fascist style, of disengaging worker, without following the process of any public servant or civil service through, without any court order. The governor of the state, for whatever reason, whatever that is worth, just stops the salaries of public workers. For purpose of clarity, there is nothing wrong or illegal for any government to sack these workers or disengage these workers, but the rules are clear these teachers, that private schools pay their teachers? How come that these teachers don't pay themselves? The teachers ask a very simple question. We have been teachers employed by the RivState government. I mean, after that to be clear. We are teachers employed by the RivState government. We are not teachers employed by private individuals. We are workers for the RivState government. So, and this our employment predates even you, the governor, before you even got into the university as a student. You know, that we have been lecturers, that we have been teachers of these schools, even before you get admission, and have been paid by substantive RivState government. And also that we are not the only persons in this school. There are cleaners in this school, there are gardeners in this school, there are drivers in this school. How come you not elect just teachers, you know, and say that they should pay themselves? How would they pay themselves? They are not the vice chancellor of the university that have access to the school account. They are not the bursar of the university that has access to the school account. They are not the pro chancellor, who is the eye of the governor in the university, who is appointed by the governor. We do not have access to the account of the university. How we are just let us? We just go to school, teach, set exams, and go. We don't even know when the school fees is increased. We don't know when the school fees is reduced. We don't know any of this fact. All we know is to go to school and teach. And you are paying for the categories of workers in these schools. How come you not single out teachers for them to pay themselves, even when they don't have access, you know, to the funds? Either they like to increase the fees or reduce the fees, or even know how much that is in the school account. You are not asking that we pay ourselves. Wasting out what crime have we committed? The government couldn't explain. So they approached the court. They approached the court, the industrial court. Give judgment to these teachers that they are qualified teachers of the RivState government, and that their employment should not be hampered by the governor, his agent, or any person, and that they should be paid. That same day, while they were in court, while the judgment was given, as if the government knew that they had a bad case, as if the government knew that they are on their own, that same day the RivState government appealed the judgment. That same day, while in court, while the Universal Court gave judgment in favor of the teachers, they appealed the judgment that same day. They went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal frowned at the actions of the RivState government, and they said they lost the RivState government. And what are you doing? What are you doing here? And stop up the matter and ask the RivState government to go and say at their teachers. We are so shocked as civil society that the governor, who is a lawyer, the governor, who is a member of one of the highest institutions of court legal practices concerned, that is a member of venture in Nigeria, such a lawyer, such a governor, will disobey court judgment from industrial court and court judgment from Court of Appeal. I want to put on record that on industrial issues, the Court of Appeal is the highest. They don't take industrial issues to Supreme Court.
Okay.
Anything concerning industrial issues ends in Court of Appeal. And the governor, who flagrantly, we cannot respect for rule of law. We don't respect for our court. We will not pay. So, in a matter that judgment was given since 2020, October 2020, for us, we think that is high of it, especially in the sense of the fact that this is the governor.
All right, Mr. Georgewill. Now we get the picture and the genesis of the problem. I spoke to some of the teachers yesterday, and they did, you know, confirm your story. It's been to a couple of courts, and it's been stated that they should be paid. Now, I want to get a clear picture as to their situation. Is it that they were not paid their complete salaries in those 5 years, or they've not been paid at all since 2016?
You can make your funding. They are going to pay a dime. And this is like even more pathetic. It's not as if they stop paying the fee. Sorry, they stop paying their salaries, and the government closed down the schools. As I speak to you, these schools still write WAEC. These schools still write junior WAEC. These schools still write international
let's talk about the protest from yesterday. Where did it start and where did it lead to?
The protest started at the House of Assembly.
Okay.
Where we presented the two court judgments to the members of the House of Assembly. One, the clerk of the House came and received the judgment. Because we said we don't want to write any protest, and we are tired of writing letters. The House of Assembly unfortunately cannot pretend that they are not aware of this matter. That severally accused a lot of letters have been written to them, no comment, no nothing. So we took the judgment, the two court judgments to them, to tell the governor, because they are the ones representing us, to tell the governor, don't do the needful. From there, we moved to the RivState government house. The CSO came and told us the governor went for commissioning.
Okay.
Sorry about Arnold. He's not around. That we should please drop the judgment and they are going to communicate. But Tom, let me say this. If the government thinks that this is one protest that will just be a one-off, that will just come, do protest, and go there, and never go, the government has said, we yesterday we only get the government the benefit of the doubt. The next time, this protest will be on a monthly basis. Every month, we will come there and bring bed and drink stones and relocate to the government. 5 years is not 5 days. Insofar as our teachers are ready and they have made up their mind that they are going to make sure that by the next time they come there, they will live with the government in government house. Anytime they are ready, for us in the River Civil Society Organization, we are always ready. I will be there in solidarity. And let me say this. No amount of threat can stop any Nigerian from freely protesting. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, protested in 2003, and the police stopped the protest. He went to court. He hired three Falana SS, and they approached the Federal High Court. The Federal High Court said that it is part of our democratic culture for citizens to freely protest. That this right are guaranteed in our constitution, especially from Section 39.
Mr. Georgewill, I'm certain we all know of our right to protest. I'm also certain that our leaders in positions of authority understand this right as well. So,
Okay, sir.
we understand what has happened, where the protest led. We've not gotten any official response from government, even as a media house. And so I wanted to know what whoever addressed you yesterday said. But as you said, they took the letter and claimed that the government was definitely, reps of the government rather, will definitely respond to that. And you've said the next step is that a protest will hold every month if you get no response from government.
Yes. And this is what this whole is going to be done.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Georgewill. I appreciate your time. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. So, one might wonder or think, oh, there are so many protests. Yes, there are. Because I'm guessing that there are lots of things that people are dissatisfied with. Not to get emotional, but this, I wouldn't say is a more important protest. But when people come out to protest with their children, it has a more serious tone to it. Since 2016, the teachers claim that they have not been paid. There's been court judgments that state that the RivState government should please pay them. Now, they are currently in the process of trying to enforce that court judgment. And while that is happening, their sympathizers, their children, and even the parents of the students in those schools are calling on government to please pay these teachers. 5 years is not 5 days. We're waiting to hear from the government. Hopefully there's some reasonable answer we can get. But most importantly, these teachers are waiting to be paid. Well, the commercial will come up shortly, but before that, I have a little time to take your thoughts on this. Teachers in demonstration schools primary and secondary schools in RivState-owned tertiary institutions protest non-payment of their salaries for 5 years. What do you make of this? 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. Please turn off your radio to have a smooth conversation. Good morning.
Hello, Tommy.
Good morning.
Tom, good morning.
Morning.
Tom, my name is Odima.
Go ahead, Odima.
Tom, honestly, this is a very unfortunate incident. It's a very unfortunate matter. I don't know the governor of Rivers State. I've been saying it honestly. I think the governor is an elitist governor. Because I don't know how to describe this kind of wickedness. That these people we are talking about, Sani, they are Rivers people. They are not from Zamfara. They are not from Kaduna. They are not from Imo State. These are Rivers people. Sani, you know why I'm passionate about this? I know two families that I know what they are going as a result of this level of wickedness. And every day people are celebrating overhead bridge. Sani, I tell you that these people's salary is more important than any bridge you can talk about in Rivers State. These people, their salary is because they are not begging for the government to give them money. This is what the money they earn, and they even spent money, went to court. They have won the government. A governor is claiming that he's a lawyer. Sammy, this is a very unfortunate incident. I think Rivers people, everybody needs to condemn this in its own totality.
All right.
It's wickedness.
Thank you, Odima. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Reginald. I'm calling from Sebuchi.
Go ahead.
Concerning the issue, I think I want to say here that Rivers State will need to come out to support the teachers. Because the level of wickedness from the part of Rivers State government is too much. And we cannot continue in that direction. A situation where teachers not been paid for 5 years, teachers in public schools. What kind of wickedness is that? Despite court judgment ordering the River State government to pay them. I think if we continue in that way, it will be good. So I will want to call on the civil society to do more sensitization, to do more by bringing River people to join this course in order to ensure that it doesn't continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, for the purpose of specificity, it's teachers in demonstration schools, so primary and secondary schools in River State-owned tertiary institutions. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
It's so painful that this is happening. As a matter of fact, these schools were centers of excellence. I have a child in the University of Science and Technology Education School, and I can see how frustrated they are. All the schools were centers of excellence where the students are giving the best, and they perform the examination without any routine, and they come out with flying colors. This is an assault on education, another assault on education, and a topic against education by the Rivers State government in Rivers State. It is so unfortunate, and Rivers people should not close their eyes against this. It is our future. The governor will not have his children there, and look at what he's doing to these people. The teachers should brace up. I am expecting that the government will ask them to go on court of appeal. Let them brace up. Those of them who have died, their souls in peace. But those who are alive should brace up for more legal battle, because we have seen the character of the government in power. Anything about education, they are not concerned. Anything about the welfare of the people, they are not concerned. Anything that will improve the life of the people, they are not concerned. Let them brace up that one day the people will be neglected. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Sam, good morning.
Good morning.
Sam, it's Cookie Sam.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, I worked for Riverside yesterday. I met those protesters yesterday. Sam, if you see these protesters with their wife and children, you weep for them. So a man that has worked for 5 good days, no payment of salary, how would a person run his bill and pay his bill too? Sam, I felt bad yesterday. As I talk to you now, I can listen to Enefa Georgewill. I'm crying in my heart for River State.
Thank you very much. But I must move on now. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I am Mr. Korea.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and brother, the news of teachers this morning, it was so sad to me. I'm indigenous of RivState, but I want to tell you something. They just did congregation in USD, and we have about 5,000 people who are to convocate that day. We have only 31 people who are first class. That is half of the state the government is reading. I want to tell you that these people who are here demonstrating, they are our father, they are our children, they are excellent in their performance. And this is what we did in the Yoruba land, and today we are praising them. What are we, legacy are we making? The governor in the state, and you are there to make sure that to fight for flyover, you are there to fight for your fellow brother, who is at the end of the day, people are dying. They are unfortunate. But we are watching. One day to come to another person's turn, and we are going to set that example. Thank you very much, Mr. Courier, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Courier. Commercials have to play now. After that, I'll take more of your reactions. Don't go anywhere.
The Morning Crossfire.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers.
We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The governor refused to obey the decision of the court. That is the reason why our relatives are those embarking on this, for the governor to know the importance of obeying court order and pay the salaries of the teachers. For 5 years, they have not received salary. For 20 years, 30 years, he never employed anybody. You cannot afford to pay your bills. You can't pay accommodation. You can't pay student school fees. My colleague, almost 8 of them have died already. So it's unthinkable.
How they are treating our teachers, our mothers, our fathers, like common beggars. Terrible. We are saddened, we are pained, and we are pleading again with the state governor and every concerned citizen to please ask the RivState governor and the RivState government to pay these teachers. It's not 5 months, it's not 5 weeks. God has given judgment. So what is keeping him? Let the governor obey court order. It's very simple.
Welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Sam Oroko Chinedu. The words and voices of a protester and, of course, the chairman of the Parents-Teachers Association, Golden Spieth, with the schools affected, RivState-owned tertiary institutions, primary and secondary schools. The teachers, numbering over 200, are claiming that their salaries have not been paid for 5 years. Now, if you go to our Facebook, we have the post up. But what is heartbreaking for me is there are pictures from that protest. And in one of the photos, you can see a child. Looks like a girl. She has a mask on. Well, it does look like a girl, holding a placard that reads, "Pay our parents." Now, let me paint a picture. And this is not a fictitious picture. It's from the realities of yesterday, a protest. Imagine a movement where children have to beg government to pay their parents. So my dad works somewhere, and I have to go and beg government, please pay my father. Now that apart, imagine a situation where students that have graduated from these schools are begging the government to pay their teachers. Also imagine where parents of those students are also begging government. So everyone and their mothers just asking that these teachers be paid. But it's not supposed to be a beggarly position. They're not supposed to have that, because besides the idea that they're supposed to earn their salaries, there are court judgments mandating government to pay these teachers. Now, we've not gotten a response from government verbally and physically, of course, but we're waiting. We are waiting. I spoke to Enefa Georgewill a few minutes ago, speaking about the involvement of civil societies with the protests, and he said that it started in 2016 when over 200 teachers stormed the civil society office to complain about disengagement of workers and stoppage of their salaries in 2016. And according to him and the teachers also, since that year, they have not received a dime in salaries. So my question is, well, there are lots of questions. What do you make of this? I'd like to know. 0817-923-0002. On Facebook, it is heart-wrenching that this is happening in a state with a man who can donate 500 million naira to another state. Charity, they say, begins at home. Gideon, you're trying to push the religious sentiment there. Yeah, let's just focus on the issue and leave that, please. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, if we should do a little statistics about this money that they are owing these teachers. If we check very well, I don't know, if we check, we will find out that this 700 million naira the state government has given to other states in support of their problems that River State does not have, which we all know that we have problems. This 700 million naira will pay all these teachers, and they will be comfortable. Okay, now let's go to the other way angle. You're giving out money based on you sympathize with them. What about the people at home? Don't you sympathize with your own people? Why do you love outside than inside? Would I say you should not show sympathy to others? Look at, you don't rely so much on their salary. They don't want you to give them extra. Just give them that one they work for. That is what they need. But we'll go about, the next thing we'll do is to criticize federal government in citing projects. The next thing we'll do is to criticize an individual, not focusing on our major problem. The major problem you have, the issues you have. It's so alarming and so shocking.
Right.
I always tell my sisters, please just save your money, because if you retire and you have this kind of governor again, it will automatically mean that your person will just die before his time.
Thank you very much. Graham on Facebook says, good morning. I heard the reason for non-payment was due to schools not remitting funds to the government. I don't know how true this is, but the government should try and pay them. Now, and if I touched on that, there are claims that the school should be able to pay itself. So remittance of funds has a part to play. But then let's imagine that's the situation. Are you telling me that there's no creative way to handle that problem? I'm just thinking, I don't know. Asel Momo, the governor has no feeling for the peoples of RivState. All he cares about is politics. I pity those teachers. Good morning.
Yeah, hello Sam, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. At this point, the thinking of so many people and realize sometimes very unpatronizing we can be. I don't know what excuses anybody can throw up on why the governor wouldn't have paid this guy. Just like you just asked. I hear no better way. Couldn't you have tackled this headlong? If you have issues with remittance, why keep quiet and allow those who work, who are not probably the management team who are supposed to remit these funds, allow them to suffer for so long? For what reason? If you feel uncomfortable with the management of that institution, why not change them? That's why you are the chief executive of this state. So there is no excuse that will come out right now that will justify the fact that someone worked and you withheld his wages. And just like the last speaker just said, and you are playing to the gallery, sympathizing with others, for crying out loud. Does it mean that you don't value your people? Is that what all these things mean? So please, we should all wake up. I wouldn't understand on any basis at all anybody will support this action. Right. There is no basis for it.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Sam, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Sam, you talked about not hearing from the government for now, right?
No official statement.
I think, yes, official statement. I think they are also hearing you now. And if they want you to hear from them, they would have known what to do. I remember last week or 2 weeks ago when Enefa was presenting, and he was talking about students protesting, allegedly protesting at Olanada. You remember? And suddenly, the Commissioner for Education was everywhere. And he got to the school. He has to call the program to make sure that this whole thing does not hold. If this one is not true, I hope that he would have done the same thing too that he did to another day and also called this whole stuff. So I believe that for the past 30 minutes that this program has been running, that they would have looked for a way to reach you and correct if there's any wrong to this whole thing. But they still have time. I think this is 10 minutes to 9, and this program, this particular matter will end by 9. So I think they still have time. And I believe they are hearing. If they are not listening, there are people, we call them, and they will also reach you between now and then. And if they don't reach you, I think I will believe that everything the people have said is true. But being that as it may, these people said they have gone to court, and the court has given them judgment, ordering the government to pay. So what else are they waiting for? Did you say that they are not remitting? Who is not remitting? These are teachers. They are not the management of the school. I remember my son was in UDSS some time ago, and they also have the same issue that was in the University of Port Harcourt Demonstration College. They also have the same problem. And the federal government also said that these people are not workers. And they've resolved and they are moving on. So how come the one of the RivState government, the own institutions, cannot be resolved for 5 good years? What do they eat? How do these people live? How does the Commissioner for Education, how does he sleep at night knowing that these people are not paid for 5 years? I don't get it at all.
All right.
Good morning.
Well, thank you, JJ. Let's allow the people in government to call because, as you said, time is running out. Ejiofor Nichi on Twitter says the same governor that recalled RivState students and scholarship abroad, this administration does not value education and civil servants. It's quite unfortunate. I believe I have comments on WhatsApp. It's obvious the teachers are not projects and infrastructure, as those that are what the government of the day pays closest attention to. It is unfortunate, Biodu from Elelewa says. And Chidi believes that the governor was imposed, says God will not forgive those who impose the governor. I feel for those teachers, and I'm short of words to exactly state how I feel about their ideal ordeal, I think you mean, in the hands of the state government. Famous Felicius says it's good that we Rivers people, it's good for we Rivers people to see. Because when Dio talks, some of us from here will, because of who, Felicius, you have to make this easy on me. I think I get your point, but it's really hard to read through the words. I sympathize with the teachers. It's a continuous proof that the government lacks ingredients of good governance, as earliest disclosed by Amechi. Symptoms of unrighteousness in power targeted against the education sector. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
For me, I don't think our government, those that are governing us, they don't have us at heart. That is why Michael Jackson said they don't care about us.
Oh, really?
You see, the issue of donating that money to Sokoto, some people will say, oh, it's because of widow's mite or whatever. No, it is clear. It is politics. He did it, for what he wants to be in future. And I wonder why our politicians, those governing us, where they should be looking at what they will gain themselves and not by the people. I don't know. Teachers, how much is their salary? May God help us. Chinke Daniel Imoge.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. My name is Dr. Ganet.
Talk to me.
Yes. The main reason why Wike will not pay these people is simple. One.
Hold on.
Are not,
Did you say have not paid or will not pay?
Will not pay.
Oh. Okay.
One. They are not flyovers. Two. They are not liquor that Wike consumes. Three. They are not markets in Sokoto State. But it's a shame, big shame, that a governor who criticizes the federal government is not able to pay teachers. When the previous governor, Right Honorable Chimika Amechi, told the whole world that this man will not be able to pay salary, Rivers people did not understand what Amechi was saying. Today, has we been able to pay these people their salary? It's a shame. We cannot wait for 2023 to push this darkness out of Rivers State. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. That was speechlessness for effect. 3 minutes left on the clock. Comments on different platforms. Text-based, of course. I'll take what's on WhatsApp. The money was used to advertise flyovers and other projects. Or the money used, rather, to advertise flyovers is enough to pay some of the teachers. Flyovers for humans or humans for flyovers. Ubong from Oji says on WhatsApp, my older sister is affected by this matter. We've been the ones, my siblings and I, footing her bills and her children. The wickedness is too much. Rosemary says on WhatsApp, education is of no priority to this administration. That's why schools in the state are neglected and teachers' welfare not considered. Boma from Akukutoru. And finally on WhatsApp, it's quite unfortunate what we see from the administration of the present governor. This is the same person who served as a minister a few years ago. So many things to say. Well, it's natural to sympathize, but I think the anger comes from the idea that it's not constitutional to find ourselves in this position. So pressure is going to be mounted. At least Enefa Georgewill has said there will be a protest every month until the government responds to the need of the people. But what I can say for free, and it's a reminder, we already know, is nobody who pays taxes, who belongs to a state and a country that are sworn to defend, protect, secure, and take care of them. Nobody in that position deserves this. And so I hope and believe that we will get to a point where our children do not have to beg our government to pay their parents. We'll get to a point where things like salaries, things that are earned, are not conversations anybody should have to negotiate with government. But I can only hope. The news comes up at 9, and after that we're talking about another protest. Well, Labour has its agenda with the minimum wage. The Holy Book says a laborer is worthy of his wage. But what's it talking about, the minimum wage? Don't go anywhere.
The Morning Crossfire.